back to New Year's Eve of 2011 in my country, Tunisia. I was celebrating it at a costume party, and it was at one of my closest friends' place, who also happened to be the niece of the president at the time. That night, I partied like there was no tomorrow. I was dressed up as a sexy Marine. I don't know why Marine. I didn't even like boats. And my friend was a duck. So what I didn't know was that something very important was cooking up in the country, which was going to be one of the most important events of the Tunisian history and the history of the world, the Tunisian Revolution, which also happened to be the starting point of the Arab Spring, which is a series of revolutions that also included Libya, Egypt, Syria, and other countries. The reason why I didn't know about that, because in the dictatorship where I used to live, the news only covered happy, positive stories about the president and his achievements and his dog and the puppy of his dog and whatever. So they did not really tell us what was happening. And what really happened was that a few weeks before New Year's Eve, a street vendor who couldn't take any more hardship and poverty set himself on fire. And the news of this story spread across the country via social media, because we had Facebook, and that was the only thing that was not controlled by the government. And the local news did not cover any of this. And some people started to protest around the country, asking for the government to do something, but they did nothing. And they did not cover this in the news, not including the protest and nothing. So most of the people, including myself, were oblivious to what was really happening. Until a few days after New Year's Eve. Things started to get really bad. Protests were popping out all across the country, and these were monitored and organized by Facebook, which was very helpful. I think that was the only time Facebook was helpful. And so groups of people started to break into shops and malls and houses of the president's family, and it was complete chaos. And that's when I started to worry. And that's when the president decided to address his people in a speech. That was his one and only attempt at fixing things, and the last time we've seen him on television, because his speech did not only fail to calm the people, but it made them angrier, and they were determined to go through with the revolution. Now the next day, following the president's speech, I woke up to a text message from my friend telling me that my friend and her sister, who were both my friend's nieces of the president, had fled the country the night before, and that their house was being destroyed. I was really shocked because I didn't know that things were going to be that bad, and I was still not aware of how bad it was. And also I didn't know that the last time I see my friend, she's going to be a duck. That was a little bit disappointing. And at the same time, and the same day, later on, oh no, wait. So when I heard about my friend, first thing I reached out to my phone to try to call them to see where they are, what's going on, and my mom came running like a flash from the kitchen. She was like, "Don't you dare call them. We don't know what's happening. Let's not tell people that we know them. It's dangerous. There's a lot of fear. Let's just stay away from that." And I had to listen to her because I was scared also. So we didn't know what was going on. So I did not reach out to my friend. Later on that day, I watched videos on Facebook of my friend's house being destroyed. I saw her pillow and her clothes being taken out, and some of the other videos were burning stuff in their house, and it was very painful to watch because she was my friend and I cared about her and I loved her even though she belonged to an evil family. But that was not the point, so I was very hurt. But at the same time, I was excited for my country because for the first time, I saw a future in which there was a possibility of not having a dictator ruling forever, because that was, we thought that's going to be forever. Also that day, it was a big day, tough day. They announced that it was in a state of emergency, and they set a curfew that was 5 p.m. So at 5 p.m. we had to be home, and anyone who was out would risk his or her life. Literally got shot. And that's when I started knowing that it was really bad. That would lead to a few days later, on January 14th, the most important day of the Tunisian Revolution. That was thousands of people were outside in front of the government office yelling "dégage," which translates to "fuck off," to the president. And that's exactly what he did. Seriously, later on that day, same day, they announced on television that the president and his family took an airplane and fled the country to an unknown destination. Well, later on we knew that it was Saudi Arabia. And that was it. We had no president, we didn't know what was going on. It was a scary time. But the days and weeks after January 14th were one of the most exciting and craziest times of my life. I've seen neighbors all across the country joining hands together to protect the neighborhoods because for many days we had no security at all. I saw police cars running away, being chased by people because people hated police. And then once the revolution was on, the police were like kind of hiding and the people were chasing them, which was pretty funny to watch. There was, at some point, ambulances crazily running in the street and opening fire on people, I kid you not, because they were stolen by some dangerous guys that took them from some hospital. And a lot of other crazy stuff, but the funnest part was when the nightclubs decided to have a curfew party, which means the party would start when the curfew starts and it ends when it ends. And it goes like for 10, 12 hours. And they called it happy curfew discount, kind of. And they had like lots of... So that was one of the funnest times when we get together, because we love to party and we could not just stop. And you know, nightclubs had to make money, so they were like, yeah, 5 to 5 p.m., 5 a.m., curfew party, let's dance, let's have fun through the revolution. And that's what we did. In the meantime, I did not forget about my friend. And as soon as things calmed down, I tried to reach out to her, but it was turned off, which I completely understand. Because she felt that she was abandoned and just left alone when she needed us the most. Our friends also did not reach out. And when we tried to reach out, she was like, no, I don't want to talk to you, which I understand because I think that was pretty painful for her to experience. Now, 9 years later, I'm proud to say that Tunisia, my country, transitioned into a real democracy, and that it's one and only Arab Muslim democracy in the world with a successful revolution. But I wish I had a different ending for my friendship story, but sometimes you have to accept things the way they go. And for my friendship with that girl, that was it. I tried to reach out a few times and that was it. But I feel like it's a lot like many things in life. There's good and bad in everything. And in this situation, the Tunisian Revolution was a blessing for my country, but it left a pain, and that pain will stay for me. It's the pain of a lost friendship. Thank you very much for listening.